I swear at this point I just need to probably start singing Oops, I Did It Again. Join me for what is probably going to be the last unboxing of this year. Note the word probably. Hi, my name is Memo, this is my channel, Houseplantygoodness, and essentially it's a place where I like to geek out about my big passion. You might be able to see some of it behind me, it's tropical houseplants. Now you might be able to see that it's a bit darker for today's video. The delivery arrived after the sun has gone down, and this is the reality of lighting in this space, the conservatory, when it's kind of getting dark early now in the winter in the UK. But yes, as I said, no self-control. I've said this, and I will keep saying this. This is because, and by the way, this is an unboxing from GrowTropicals, because apparently they enable me a lot. I was very good. I did not buy a single thing from their Black Friday sale. Should I have done it because I was always going to end up buying this in the end and probably got a discount? Probably, but no self-control. To be fair, I've done most of my Christmas shopping already, and there was a tiny bit of salary left over, enough obviously that I can kind of like get myself going until like the Christmas kind of payout to myself, because I run my own business. But yes, it was a time when I'm just like, you know what, I've got, actually to be fair, I didn't use any of my actual money coming through. I don't know how to describe this. I've described this on previous videos. I've got a little savings pot that I put money into each month, so I'm just like, I got it from that. But yes, story behind this is I needed see the Freudian slip there. I wanted a couple of the plants that they had on their website, and I'm just like, oh, okay, let's have a look. And then they reeled me in because they're just like, oh, if you spend this much, you'll get a free plant as well, which I'm assuming is in here. I don't know if I had to add it into the cart. If I didn't add it, it's fine, because I don't know where I'm going to put it. But yes, the reason for this was I needed, see again, no need, wanted a couple of the orchids that they had on their website. And yeah, that was really the only reason. And I also wanted to see what their shipping was going to be like in the winter. And I've actually got it here, and I want to see if there's no mention of the free plant, but maybe I didn't get it. I don't know. I also wanted to see what it was like in terms of like how they ship in the winter. So this is how the winter shipping comes in, and this is, I paid extra. They kind of put it already on your order, and you can decide not to do it. I don't know why you would decide not to do it in the middle of the winter, but to pay a bit extra for like winter packaging. So I'm just like, yeah, let's do the winter packaging. Apologies if this is a bit loud. But yeah, so I thought, and that's why I said at the beginning of the video, this is probably going to be the last unboxing. I say probably because I don't know, with me, I got no self-control, but I don't think I'm going to be buying anything else this year. Right, now that that is done, yeah, no, I don't think I got that plant. But it's okay, it's fine. Maybe I didn't read it correctly and I had to add it in. I think it was a fuzzy petiole or squamiculum or something like that, but it's fine. I got the plants that I actually ordered, which were, let me have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Did I get 9 plants? Let's have a look. I don't know if there's actually 9 plants in here. There might be. I might not be seeing them. But, right, let's start with some of the biggies. And their packaging is amazing as always. But, this is a plant to replace something that you've seen during my houseplant tour. And it was on its last few legs, and I think at this point it's gonna retire, really. So this is a replacement for that. This was during the houseplant tour. If you haven't seen it, I will kind of add it at the top there. But let's have a look. Whoops. I I can never fault the packaging from GrowTropicals, even though I always get this tape stuck on my fingers. Right, this is something that I've been looking at this for years. So this is technically, I would say, a succulent, but this is the Sansevieria Metallica, or the Dracaena as they've been reclassified now, Metallica. And I'm hoping, I don't know, I have a sneaky suspicion for where I want this plant to be, it probably won't be happy. But it's fine, I'll see if I can give it some extra light on occasion, basically. So this is the plant that I want to go right next to my TV. It does get some light, it doesn't get the best light, I won't lie. And looking at this, because I've never seen this in person, I've only ever seen this online, so I've always kind of liked the look of it. Because it looks like something between a kind of standard green Sansevieria hybridized with a Sansevieria moonshine. So, that is very, very, very pretty. Hopefully the light isn't blowing it out, but it has got a lot of white silveriness on the leaves, and obviously those green leaves. And the roots looking okay. Okay, there's a tiny bit of breakage, but that was just because the roots were outside of the pot. But this is looking relatively healthy. The leaves are quite turgid. This has been watered recently, so for this Sansevieria, it's going to go into the space that it's going to live, and it probably won't get watered until it is bone dry. But yes, plant number 1. Now, let's have a look at the other large one, which I don't think is the freebie. Oh no, there's, you know, when you kind of look at it and you're just like, oh, there's not enough plants in there. There is. There's more than I thought there was. So I think I know which one this one is, but let's have a look. Also wanted to give a massive shout out to all the lovely people that in the last few days, I'm assuming due to the spirit of the holidays, maybe not, maybe it's just because they're enjoying the current content, have done the super thanks where you can leave me a tip for some of the videos. It is massively appreciated. It's not necessary, but it's so, so, so lovely of you all, and thank you so much. It kind of really makes my day when that comes through. But as I said, not necessary, but always appreciated. So yes, this is something very cool that I saw recently somewhere else. I don't know where I saw this, but I'm just like, oh, I want to get this. Any guesses as to what this is? And I'll bring it in a bit closer so you can see, and hopefully you can't see the label. If you can, I will take that out in editing. Any guesses? I'll wait down below. Right, so this is very cool. This is something, and you might be surprised because one of the parent plants, this is a hybrid, one of the parent plants of this is something that I've kind of lost a bit of love for over the years. But this one piqued my interest. Now, I don't know the growing habit of this, and I might be looking to some of you who might have this, because I know a few people have picked these up over the last few weeks or months when they've come out. Let me just take this off. Okay, and it's off. It is freed, but sorry, I'm not going to keep you in too much more suspense, so I'll bring it in so you can kind of see. Look at that. This is... Whilst I drop the label, this is the Philodendron Summer Glory. And if I'm not mistaken, and this is very, very, very cool, look at some of the backs of those leaves. This is a Philodendron gloriosum crossed with Philodendron Macaulay's finale, I think. And I've always wanted a Macaulay's finale, and I've never been the biggest fan of the gloriosum. I've been a fan of the gloriosum for a while, so, but you can kind of see both parents, I think, in that. So you can see this is giving a lot of gloriosum, and I think the leaves are very much like that as well. And I don't know, because I've got so many lights on me, whether or not it's getting blown out. Some of that chocolatiness and some of that coloration is obviously coming in from the Macaulay's finale. I am very curious to see how this is going to grow in my space. I've always had good success with the gloriosum, and I think most people have. But if anybody that is watching this has got this or has had it for a while, because this doesn't tell me very much, because I think the Macaulay's finale kind of grows upright and technically is a climbing. I don't think it's a rosette forming philodendron, but obviously the gloriosum is a crawler. So I don't know with this one. It doesn't look like it's crawling, but it looks like it might. I don't know. And I think there might be, there is one definite main plant in here, but there might even be a little seedling in here as well. So not bad, not bad at all. And I forgot to give you prices actually. So the Sansevieria Metallica was $24.99. And this was, where is it? Why am I missing it? Oh, Philodendron Summer Glory was £20.99, and I'll do the usual thing that I do where I also put the US dollars at the top so that people that are not from the UK can kind of get an idea of what the prices are like here, because I do know that you'll like to discuss that in the comments. So yes, another one where everything looks really good. The roots that are picking out from here are looking okay. The soil on this is actually not as wet as the Sansevieria, which is good because I don't want this to be too wet for too long. I don't want the Sansevieria one to be too wet for too long either. But this is okay. This is fine. I am happy with this. Don't know where I'm going to put it because neither one of these plants. I mean, the Sansevieria Metallica. I'll bring it up again. This one, I know where it's going to go, and it's going to go in the house and it's going to replace another plant. So I got space for this because it's one in, one out. This one, I don't know where I'm going to put it. There's a couple of places in the house that you might have seen again during the house plant tour of the house where things were maybe dying off. This might replace one of them. The freebie plant that I thought I was going to get was going to replace one of them, but it's all right, that might replace it instead. It's fine. Okay, let's start moving over to some of the smaller plants, and I have seen heat pack. And I think by default at this time of the year, is it still warm? No, but also the plants that I'm bringing out at the moment, I should mention, none of them are feeling cold. It's also not a freezing cold day today. It's not a warm day, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. This isn't still hot to the touch, but at the same time, you kind of want it to do enough to keep the plants from freezing, but not for these to be too hot, because sometimes in the old days, by old days, I probably mean a couple of years at this point, a couple of years ago, they used to sell, probably with all the best intentions, a lot of the sellers used to sell plants with like 72-hour heat packs, and depending if it's going far away, then maybe, but in the UK, when you tend to get winter shipping with this, it's usually next day, those heat packs tend to get a bit too hot. So bear that in mind. But this one's okay, it's done its job. Right, let's have a look. I do love the silvery kind of foil thing. It's very reminiscent of, I don't know what they're called. There must be a name for them. You know those, like, they look like tinfoil blankets that they give people, like if they're like in thermal shock. I usually see them at the ends of like marathons and stuff. I think it's to keep them warm basically. So it's doing the same thing for the plants. Kind of cool. Right. Ooh, and this next one is a relatively common plant, but I've never owned it. And again, this is something that I'm going to place during the houseplant tour. You might have seen an area of the house where I did a Pachira aquatica and there was an alocasia friedek, but it was looking a bit sparse around the alocasia friedek, so I wanted something that was going to do a bit of ground cover and maybe kind of trail downwards. And I have not had one of these in a few years now, this type of plant, but I've never had the purple one. Oh, see, this is looking nice. All right, oh, let's get it out. Ta-da! Right, let me bring it in closer so you can kind of see it. Let me maybe get the like packaging off. It's great. The packaging is fantastic. I always say this because obviously it will get to you safely. Does it make things like unboxing on video any easier? No. But that's a singular problem to all of us that do content like this. For the average person that is buying this is a good thing. Like these things are very secure. The soil stays within the pot. The plant stays within the pot as well. So yeah, I can't fault GrowTropicals at all for their packaging. It's always fantastic. Also really nice, this is a sensitive plant, so I was expecting to lose a couple of leaves. I've lost one, that's fine. for the people that have been buying from GrowTropicals for a while, have you noticed that Otto is on Instagram as well? I was so excited. So like the people that know, but it's so exciting to have Otto online at the moment. But yes, so this is, and let me bring it kind of a bit further back so you can see it in the light. This is a type of Tradescantia. So I know there's a really inappropriate name for this, but I think they also call it the Wandering Dude. But let's just call it by its actual name, shall we? The botanical name, which is, let me see, Tradescantia pallida purple heart. And I like the fact that this is purple. Fun fact, I don't know if anybody's seen this going around the internet. Purple technically does not exist as a photon, so it doesn't technically exist as a color. It is something that our brain makes up for the lack of a color being there, if that makes sense. It makes it up as in like, this is what needs to exist when red and blue exist together. It's really weird things. Go dive into that rabbit hole after watching this video because it's quite interesting. But yes, purple plants. You don't get an awful lot of purple plants. Probably for the reason that maybe the photons don't exist in nature. But you know, it's okay. Roots are looking good. This isn't too wet. See, this is growing a bit more upright. I've never had it before, as I said, but I've had the Tradescantia Nanook, and it seems to grow more like the Nanook rather than the Zebrina that I had a few years back. So this is interesting. I was hoping this was going to crawl. It might still do, but that is going to go in the place that I was talking about there in the very front of the house. And before I forget, because I will forget with these things, this was £9.99, so not too bad. Right, let's move on because we've got another 4 plants. See, originally I thought there was 4 plants in this, and I was like, I ordered more than 4. Did they not send me everything? Because I checked the order, because like a while back I ordered something, nothing to do with GrowTropicals, it was to do with the poor delivery driver who I think got a bit flustered that day, and I was supposed to get 2 boxes, so one box said 1 of 2, and the other one said 2 of 2, and I only got the 1 of 2, so I'm just like, I'm missing some of my order. I did not realize, so now I check every time that I'm just like, oh, this is 1 box. Is it 1 of 1? It is 1 of 1. It should be fine, so everything should be in here. So, moving on to, ooh, this might be one of the orchids. So very cool. I was going to get the 1 orchid. I somehow ended up getting all 3 orchids that I'd seen and liked on their website. So we've said this before, no self-control. But based on some of the comments that I'm seeing from some of you, I'm not the only one. It's fine. Together we stand strong and penniless, but it's fine. Oh, there's 2 orchids in here. Okay, cool. I like the ingenuity of putting, because one is a smaller one than this one, so they've put 2 in the one. So let me bring these up. They won't seem like an awful lot right now. I'll see if I can get the blooms and pictures up to show you with these ones. But, whoops, that's really good. I'm hearing pebbles drop, and based on how I want to grow this specific orchid and based on what I was seeing online, I'm kind of heading in the right direction because I'm going to make it very airy in the way that it will grow, and I don't want to push this out too much because it is very sensitive, and there's a teeny little orchid, and I don't want to destroy any of its foliage because it's still very juvenile. But I think they kind of made that clear, and I think this plant is also quite a diminutive plant, so that is absolutely fine. So I don't remember which one of the orchids this is. I will put the name up the top. I think this is the Masdevallia roseola. I might be wrong. I will correct myself up the top. So I'll bring it in so you can kind of see. It's nothing kind of to write home about. This might be, I've also got a Bulbophyllum. So I don't know whether or not this is the Bulbophyllum. To me, that looks like it might be a Bulbophyllum because you might be able to see the bulbs in there. But I think the Masdevallia is kind of similar as well. But an orchid at this time of the year is a bit of a risky move. But I think this is okay. I think this kind of has traveled relatively well. So the next one is definitely a Bulbophyllum. I'm kind of looking at the pot size as well. So I don't know which one of the two prices this is. So when I figure out at editing which one is the correct one, I'll put the price at the top for the one we've just seen. And now the other one, which is the one that really caught my attention and ended up placing the order. I had noticed the smaller one that I've just shown you a week or so ago, but I'm just like, there's nothing else on there that I really want to get. Because that's the problem for me sometimes with GrowTropicals is I want to do a bigger order rather than just 2 or 3 plants. So a lot of the times I've gone in and I've put stuff in my basket and it's only like 1 or 2 things and I'm just like, I'm not finding anything else that I want to purchase right now. No, I'll leave it and I'll come back when there's more items that I want to get so I can get them all at the same time. Oh, I really should be doing this. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can, oh, there we go. See if I can kind of unhinge this. No patience. That hasn't changed. Years now. Years now. My poor family. They're just like, take things slow. And I'm just like, don't do slow. I've never done slow. Which has caused me no end of problems in my life, let me tell you that for a fact. But yes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is definitely a Bulbophyllum. So this is interesting because this, look at the Bulbophyllum, look at the bulb there, the pseudobulb is quite interesting because it's quite a long and thick pseudobulb rather than being more bulb-like, if that makes sense. A lot of the times the Bulbophyllums tend to be a bit more like a little kind of onion, if that makes sense. But this is different. I like it. I like it. It's very young. I don't think I'm anywhere near getting this to bloom. I don't think this is a blooming stage just yet. So if this is the one that I'm thinking is, this is the Bulbophyllum ambrosia, and this is $18.99. So I'm really enjoying growing some of these orchids, mainly because, let me show you, 3D printed some mounts for them with holes and everything. It doesn't look like the most exciting thing in the world, but I'll put sphagnum moss, possibly some orchid bark, depending on the type of orchid that I've got, and then just kind of mount this like I would kind of a staghorn fern. And this takes very little space for my space because I can use my vertical space. See, smart. Just use vertical space. I don't have any other space. Let's just use the vertical space at this point. Right, so that is 2 of the orchids. Let's see. Oh, this is a succulent that I've seen a while back on their website, and it was interesting because this order managed to tick a lot of the boxes for me, where I wanted to get these plants at different stages, but I just didn't have enough, like I was just saying, to make the order. And this is one that I'm quite glad they still had some stock of, because I'm just like, ooh, 2 here. There's another orchid in here. So maybe I did get the plant, I don't know. Another 2 babies. Let me pick up the first one, which was the succulent that I was just getting very excited about. The other one is the other orchid. So this is cool. This is, let me just remind myself, this is a Senecio. This is Senecio stapeliiformis, and this was $7.99 a pound. But again, for the people that have been here for a while, they know that I love weird and kooky and unusual plants. So I'm trying to, I don't think this looks like it will do some damage, as in cactus-esque, but I don't think it does. Does it have? No, it doesn't have thorns. It just looks like it might have thorns. So I'll bring it in because this is even more impressive in person than I thought it would be. Oh, right. Let me hide my face. This is such a bad time to be filming this. I am so sorry, but can you see that? I'll see if I can brighten this in editing. This is very, very, very cool. They're just really long and tubular, and there's some patination on the actual kind of stem, I guess it is. Very, very cool. There's no leaves or anything like that. There is this kind of slight spiky, there you go. You can kind of see the spikiness there. This is very, very cool. I really, really, really like this. I didn't know what to expect. I was hoping that this was going to be cool, but oh, that is fantastic. So that is one. Let's have a look at the orchid. Oh. A lot of the times these videos take me a while to edit because I try to edit out all of these bits where I'm struggling with packaging. But I think at this point, I'm just going to do it down and dirty and just kind of keep some of this in there. Apologies if this has not got the best editing in the world, but time is precious at this time of the year. It tends to be a busy time for me work-wise. So I am kind of working all hours of the day and night to kind of get content out, keep doing what I need to do for my own business, because obviously it's a busy time of the year. But let me just tell you this, roll on that in-betwixtmas, I think is called, period between Christmas and New Year's, because ain't no work going to be happening at that point. It's going to be great. So yes, I think, let's have a look. So I think the previous one, so this little one here, bring it up again, is a Bulbophyllum pardolatum, and this was $18.99. So I know they might seem a bit pricey. This is a Masdevallia, because I've had a Masdevallia before, but it didn't survive in my space, so I want to try it in a different way. So this is a Masdevallia roseola, and this was also $18.99. This might not seem like a lot, but these have all got really pretty blooms when they bloom, basically. So yes, very excited to see what's going to happen with this one. The leaves are all quite turgid. The roots look okay. These are all going to get repotted into their mounts, not at this time of the day, probably at some point tomorrow morning. But let's continue, because as far as I can tell, there's 2 more plants. I might be wrong, because like there's been things that have been stacked on top of each other. So let's have a look. Oh yes, this is interesting. This is interesting, because this is one I wasn't aware of, and this is where all of you are going to scream at me in the comments going, how did you not know of this plant? We have all known about it for a very long time. Just, I don't know, I've never heard of this plant before, but it seemed cool. And I don't know whether or not this is a plant that came up in one of my weird and unusual plant videos, but this, and some of you might be able to tell what this is. I think this is the one that kind of catfishes slightly online. I might be wrong. And it might be a bit less of, I'm trying to find the right words here without giving the game away too much, less of what the pictures online show and more kind of floppy at times than what we might see online on some of the pictures on the Googles. But I've got high hopes for this, because I've grown other plants that are similar to this. Oh, and I've lost a leaf, but that's fine. That's to be expected, because this is very, and this should give you the first hint, very onion-like. So I don't think this is directly related to the pregnant onion, but it's kind of a similar type of plant. Yes, it's a bit dry, which is good. So this is, oh, let me bring it up. Cyrtanthus spiralis for $12.99 Great British pounds, and you can kind of see the spiralis. Obviously, this is looking a bit parched at the moment. This is very dry, which I would prefer it with this one because it's a caudiciform plant, and this is very reminiscent of a little onion. But these, I think, are very much those plants that we've done it, I think, on one of the weird and unusual videos where the leaves kind of do a corkscrew all the way up. Obviously, this has been, it needs a bit of love and a bit of like the correct light and maybe the correct conditions, and this could do well. But this is very, anybody who's ever had these types of succulent plants before, these leaves are very easy in packaging to get kind of bashed around. I am curious to see how this is going to do post-winter shipping, but there is a second little plant in there. So I do like the little security of having a second little plant in there. It's very cool. So that was that. Let's have a look at my list. I think that was everything I ordered. So, oh no. Yeah, so no to the plant I thought I was getting for free. But again, I think it might have been because I should have put it in the basket for my damn self, and I didn't do that, but it's all right. I have got the serpents, which is very, very similar, so it's fine. And to be fair, I don't need any more like encouragement. Now, this I have spoken about in one of my recent videos. I think the plant that I would like to try again, and I had the same issue last year, and I got it around the same time again last year, and I killed it so super fast. So this might have been the dumbest thing I have ever done, but nobody can say I won't learn from my mistakes. Any guesses? All right, I'll show you. This is the Begonia bipinnatifida, if I am not mistaken, and it is looking healthy and it's not feeling sapping wet. So we are onto hopefully a winner, and hopefully I can keep it happy. The other plant that I had was a much bigger plant, and they didn't have any in that size. They only had this plant of this size, and there is literally one growing stem in here, so I need to be exceptionally careful on how I unpackage this. So give me a second, and it is out of the pot without me snapping the one and only growing stem. But very, 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 very cool begonia, because how many begonias have you got that look like a fern? And I'm trying to see if I can get this to, I can't get a light up here, and the light is beneath the camera, so it's gonna have to be whatever you can kind of see here. But this is very, very cool, and this is, come on, yeah, it is a Begonia bipinnatifida, and this was $16.99, yeah? So I might be making a mistake again, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that was everything. What do you think? Were you expecting me to do an unboxing at this time of the year? Because I wasn't. Who am I kidding? I probably was going to do that, man. It happened. Fell into my basket and I just pressed checkout. It's really bad with websites these days when you can store your card details on there as well, because it's just so much easier. Gone are the days where you could just go like, oh, I've put all this and my card is downstairs and I can't be bothered to move and go and get it. I'm just not going to purchase. I work in web design and digital marketing. This is why they give you the option to store cards, for example, because believe it or not, this is a thing that businesses are aware that people are that lazy and just won't complete the order if they need to go and get their card from somewhere. So, sorry. Neither here nor there, sorry, I'm just rambling at this point. But yes, what did you think? So I got the hybrid of the gloriosum, I got the little kind of spiral succulent time codiciform, I got the 3 orchids, I got the Tradescantia, the purple Tradescantia, the weird and kooky Senecio, which is kind of like long and thin. The bipinnatifida begonia that looks like a fern and probably behaves even more petulantly for me, or at least the last one did, than an actual fern. So this is still not going to get a terrarium. I will get it to love this space. If it kills me, it might do. But to be fair, like on average in here, it's 70 to 80% humidity. It should be fine. It really should be fine. Maybe it wasn't getting enough light last time, so I'll see if I give this a bit more light. Maybe, I don't know, because last time I gave it a bit too much light and then it just didn't like, I need to figure out where I'm going to put it. I need to figure out where I'm going to put it. Oh, actually, I've got a grow light down there and I can bring it close, far enough away from the grow light so it doesn't burn it, but it's close to a radiator. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this one out. Can you tell that this one is going to stress me out? And the Sansevieria, and I think that's it. A no to the squamiferum or squamiculum, I think, because again, I think this dum-dum should have put it in my basket and I didn't put it in the basket, but it's fine because it wasn't a plant that I was desperately looking to get into my collection. And again, remember what I was talking about before about the fact that my speed isn't always a good thing and the fact that I'm impatient? Prime example. But yes, hopefully you've enjoyed. hopefully I shall see you here soon, and I truly, truly hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.